NVIDIA just dropped their latest earnings, and wow! These aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet, they're a signal for the entire tech industry, a report card for the whole AI revolution. So let's break down what it all means.
All right, let's just start with the headline number, the one that's got everybody talking. $57 billion. That's not their annual revenue. That's what NVIDIA pulled in a single quarter. I mean, to wrap your head around that, that's more than a lot of household name companies make in an entire year.
So yeah, this wasn't just a good quarter. This was a straight-up all-time record. That $57 billion, it's a 62% jump from where they were this time last year. For a company this big, that's not just growth. That's like putting a rocket engine on an already speeding bullet train.
And it's not just about revenue. The profit is just as wild. You see revenue up 62%, right? Well, look at their net income, the actual cash they pocket. That's up even more, 65%. And check out that gross margin, 73.4%. That means for every dollar they make, they're keeping over 73 cents before other expenses. Yeah, you see that little slightly down note? It's a tiny dip, but it's a good reminder that even when you're on top of the world, every little bit of efficiency counts. So where is all this money coming from? What's the engine driving this historic run? NVIDIA has a few different parts to its business, but one of them has just taken over and is completely rewriting the company's story.
Okay, just look at this chart. It tells you everything you need to know. That giant blue slice, that's the data center business. It brought in over $51 billion. It makes their legendary gaming division, the thing that made them famous, look tiny by comparison. It's official. NVIDIA isn't really a gaming company anymore. It's an AI data center powerhouse.
Let's put that in perspective again. NVIDIA's data center business, all by itself, is bigger than most entire tech companies you've ever heard of. This is the AI boom in a single slide. It's a direct reflection of the world's insane, insatiable demand for the chips that train and run all these complex AI models.
And look, this isn't just about selling more chips, it's about a huge leap in technology. Their new Blackwell architecture, it's a total game changer. For the same amount of electricity, it's delivering something like 10 times the performance of what came before. If you're running a massive data center where your electricity bill is one of your biggest costs, that kind of efficiency isn't just nice to have, it's a must-have.
Don't just take my word for it. The CEO, Jensen Huang, said it himself. He basically said Blackwell sales are off the charts and cloud GPUs are sold out. This isn't just some marketing spin, it's the reality of supply and demand. The world wants AI compute power, and they want it now.
Okay, so the results are incredible. We get it. But Wall Street and the tech world are always asking, yeah, but what have you done for me lately? So what does NVIDIA think is coming next? And, more importantly, are there any storm clouds on the horizon?
Well, here's the number NVIDIA is telling everyone to expect for the next quarter, $65 billion. They're not just hoping to repeat this record, they're planning on smashing it. That tells you they think this crazy growth is actually speeding up.
Think about that jump, from $57 billion to $65 billion, in just 3 months. That's a 14% increase. For a company of this size, that kind of hypergrowth is it's almost unheard of. It shows you how confident they are in their order book.
All right, everything sounds amazing. Too amazing, maybe? With this kind of meteoric rise and sky-high expectations, you have to ask the critical question. What could possibly derail this train?
And yeah, the risks are very, very real. First up, geopolitics. More export controls could suddenly slice off huge markets. Then there's competition. Everybody and their brother is racing to build their own AI chips to challenge NVIDIA. Plus, the market now expects absolute perfection. Any tiny little misstep, and the stock could get hammered. And finally, let's not forget their business relies on a super complex global supply chain and is really concentrated with just a few giant cloud customers. If anything goes wrong there, the ripple effects would be massive.
So let's zoom out, let's connect all these pieces. What does this one company's monster quarter really mean for the rest of us and for the future of tech?
Okay, so let's boil it all down. What are the big takeaways? 1. NVIDIA is now the bellwether for the entire AI industry. As they go, so goes the AI boom. It's that simple. 2, we've watched them completely transform from a company focused on gaming for consumers to the absolute king of enterprise AI. 3, this level of hypergrowth at this scale is just something we almost never see in tech. And finally, yeah, they're in a super strong position, but the expectations are so incredibly high now that their margin for error is basically zero.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. Right now, NVIDIA is the undisputed king of AI hardware, no question. But the history of tech is basically a graveyard of overthrown kings. In a market this hot, moving this fast, with this much at stake, you have to wonder, how long can any one king really hold the crown?